Hi, welcome to the channel, and today I'm going to show you how to create a fillable form in Word. I'm going to show you how you can expose the developer tab, why you need to expose the developer tab, and how you insert a variety of different checkboxes, text boxes, and drop-down menus. So the first thing to say is I have created this entire form in Word, and if you want to see how I've done that, then skip ahead to the timestamp shown above and I'll give you the complete rundown of how I created this form. So the first thing is you can see at the top here I've got my developer tab exposed. If I just click on that, you can see that I've got this selection here of icons which enable you to create a fillable form. Now, if you don't have the developer tab, go up to Word at the top here and go to Preferences. And then in Preferences, go to Ribbon and Toolbars. And then on your main tabs over here, go all the way down and make sure your developer tab is checked. Once that's checked and you click Save, your developer tab will appear. Now, this is very simple. You just go down to the section of your form where you'd like some text to be inserted. So I'm going to click here. This, just so you know, is all a table. So all of these cells here are just part of a table. So click in the cell that you want some text to be typed, go up to text box and click. And what you'll see is this grey shading area here where you have an insert of text and where you don't. Now you can take those off if you want to by going up to this shading icon here and clicking, and you can see that will disappear, but for the time being I'm going to make sure that's checked just so I know where I've placed my boxes. So again, I'm going to go to everywhere that I want some text and I'm simply going to click. Okay, you can see this one is at the top, and that's because I've given this area here 2 lines space for hobbies and activities, but you'll only see that text box or that grey shaded box come up on the top line. Now I'm going to show you how to insert other things. So here's a tick box here. So I'm just going to delete this one. Just go to, let me just switch on the lines to this table. So let's go to table design and let's just switch on all borders. So now you can see where all of my borders of my table are. So in this cell here, I want a tick box so that the user can tick any of these boxes when they're filling out this form. So again, just go to Developer and select Checkbox, and then a checkbox will be inserted. And I'll show you how all of these work at the end. So I'm going to go through now and just put in some more text. With these boxes here, you can see my shaded boxes in the middle, and what I've done there is merged 2 rows. So it will act in the same way as this one up here, but at this one I've just merged 2 rows of cells, and this one I've just gone into the cell and pressed the return key. You can do either, it doesn't matter, it's just a different way of doing it. Now at the bottom here, I'm going to show you something a little bit different. Instead of putting in some text, I'm going to show you how to insert a drop-down menu. So again, select your cell by putting in your cursor and go up to this icon here that says combo box and just select that. Now going down to the bottom here, nothing really happens. I'm just going to zoom in. Nothing has really happened. If I double click on that cell, you'll see I have this menu, drop down form field options. And what you need to do is in this box here, you need to list everything that you want in your drop down. So I'm just going to list some colors, press enter. So once you've entered in all of your different menu options, you actually need to select one of them to be the title of the box. So I'm going to type in click here and then press enter. Now click here is now at the bottom, but I want to select it for my main menu. So I'm going to select this one and I'm going to put it at the very top by clicking this up menu. Make sure it's at the very top. I can tell that by this menu slider here, it's at the very top. And then I'm just going to select a bookmark name. So I'm going to select colors. and I'm going to select OK. Now you can see it says click here, and the way this is used, I'm going to show you how everything is used. You have to go up and protect your form. So if I select this protect form icon, you can see now we have this arrow. So all your user needs to do is just click on it, and then you can select from those options, or select red, and you can see that will appear in the drop down. So the rest of these, you can simply select them and then begin to type. What you will find once you've protected your form is that if you try to click anywhere else, let's just click here, you can see my cursor has gone to the nearest available checkbox or text box. I click up here, you can see it's gone to this box here. So it won't allow you to click on anything else other than those areas that you've selected for text, crosses or drop downs to go into. Again here, just select the box and you can see that box is now checked. If you double click back off that box, it will clear. And again at the top here, if you just select a box and just begin to type, then the text will fit into that box. Now once again, if you don't like the shading, you can now take all the shading off so it makes the form look a bit more professional. If you want to limit the amount of text that people will type into your box, then all you need to do, go back up to protect form and uncheck that. Then double click on this box and you will now get another menu. So here you can decide on regular text, numbers, dates, current dates, etc. You can select your default text, the font, and then you can limit the amount of text that you have in that box. So let's say, for example, you wanted to limit it to 25 characters, then you would select 25. Your text format, again, you can have uppercase, lowercase. I would choose title case, and then all you need to do is select OK. So now that's limited to 25 characters. And once they've entered 25 characters, it will no longer allow the user to type. So don't forget, once you finish the form, make sure you go to protect that form before you send it. In addition, you can also go to Tools, go down to Protect Document, and you can also enter in a password, just so that it enables you to control who can edit and access this form. Once you've done that, you just simply click OK. Okay, so if you stayed in the video and you want to know how to create this application form, then I'm going to open a new document. And the first thing I'm going to do is extend my margins. As you can see here, we've got quite narrow margins here, and those margins are much wider here. So I'm going to go to Layout, Margins, click on the drop down and select Narrow. Then my cursor's at the top here. I'm going to move that cursor down the page. So we've got access at the top here to do other things, but I want my table to start around here. So go to Insert, go to Table, click on the drop down, and I always select 4 columns and then go all the way down to select as many rows in this little selection menu. And then I always select the table, go to Layout, and then I'm going to select a height of 0.7, press Enter. Then I always go over to this icon here, which is aligned to center left, and then go to the Home tab and make sure I've got the font I want and also the size of font. I'm going to choose 11, and then that will format the whole table for me, and I'll have to do as little adjustment as possible. So let's just look at the first part of our form. So the first thing we're going to do is just put all of this information in, and I'm going to show you how to move these lines so that you can change these to white or black. Now at the back here, this is just simply a shape. When I move it away, you can see all the text goes because it's all white. So we'll leave that there so that we can see what we're doing. So we're going to put in personal and residential information. I'm going to copy and paste this, just makes it quicker for me. You can see this is font size 16. So I'm going to go back to my table. So I'm simply going to merge those 3 cells, go to Layout, Merge Cells, and then I'm just going to paste in my text. And then I can move this line anywhere I want to. If I select these 2 cells, it will just move this line here. If I didn't select those two cells, it would move the entire line. So because this is a title, I'm going to expand the height of this cell. So select it, go to height, and I'm going to place that at 1 centimeter and press enter, and just raise the height of that cell a little bit more. Then I'm just going to enter in all this text. So you just simply click into the cell and enter the text. So what I will do is speed up the video so that you can see what I'm doing, but you don't have to watch me type everything out. Now we just need to customize this. So for example, I want to move this line for the first name. So I select these two cells and I just move that line over, roughly leaving about that much space between the semicolons and the line. And again, do the same to this one. For this one, I'm going to merge these cells first. So select them all, layout, merge cells. And then I'm going to select those two cells and move that over to about there. Then I'm going to merge these 3 cells, layout, merge, and then move this cell over. There we go. Now, if we take all the border lines out of this table, select the table, go to table design, go to borders and select no borders. You can see everything is quite close together, and in the demonstration you can see there's a little gap between because we've used an additional row. So we'll just go back and create that additional row. So let's now go back 1 step, and if you select this row here, go to layout and then just go up to insert row above, and then we can change the height of that row to 0.3 and press enter, and do the same between each individual row. Perfect. Now if I go to insert shapes, click on the drop down and select this square, just click and draw out a square. I'm going to put it down to about here. Then I'm going to go to shape format. I'm going to go along to the outline here and select no outline because there is actually an outline to this shape. Go to shape fill and I'm going to fill it with this dark grey here. And you can see I've obviously covered everything up. So what I need to do is go to the wrapping, go to wrap text, click on the drop down and select behind text. Now you can see how everything glows and the changes we need to make. So the first thing I'm going to do is I also need to merge these cells here. So select them, go to layout, merge, and then I'm also going to press the return key and make that a double height cell. The next thing I need to do is select everything, go to the Home tab, go to the text color and select white. And then I'm also going to select all of the cells where you want text to be white too. So go to table design, go to shading and select white. And then we can go along. You don't need to click on the drop down again because white's already selected. Just click on it and go down and make sure all of those cells are white. Perfect. Now here we need to alternate this, so we're going to make the background white, but then we've got to select the text, go back to Home, select the font color and select automatic and turn that back to black. So that's the first section of the table, and let's go down to the bottom here and show you what we have here. So we have a slightly different transition and we've gone from the dark colours to the lighter colours. So I'm going to extend the table out and then show you how to apply all of this as well. So I'm going to put my cursor in the lowest cell, I'm going to go to layout, and I'm just going to keep clicking on insert below until I'm happy with the amount of rows I've got. Then I'm going to go to this row here. And once again, I'm going to merge 3 cells, go to layout, merge. I'm going to paste in occupational history, which you can't see at the moment because it's white. And then go to layout, increase the size of the height to 1 centimeter for that cell. And then here, I'm going to merge all of these cells, go to merge cells, then paste in some text. but I'm also going to go back and reduce the height of this cell to 0.3. There we go. And again, this one, because it's a gap filler, we can go to 0.3. And again, you can do it the same way we did above and just use up every single row and then go back and put in a spacer row between them. It doesn't matter which way you do it. I think it takes just as long to do it one way or the other. Now for this row, we need the tick boxes. So I'm going to move this right over to the edge here. I'm going to insert our text, and then I'm going to move this line over here and then this line here, just to fit in that checkbox. Then I'm going to split this cell, so go to Layout, Split Cells, number of columns 2, number of rows 1, and click. Then enter my text, split them again, then move this one over, paste in the text or type in your text. Over here, move this one. Then I'm going to merge these cells because I've got a long sentence to go in here. Layout, merge cells. So once we've got all of that information in, we need to go up to this section here and we need to put in our checkbox, and we'll go up to our developer tab. If you don't see the developer tab, go to Word, Preferences, Ribbon and Toolbar, Main tabs, and check the developer tab. Then go to Developer and select checkbox. Do the same in this box, this one, and also this one. Perfect. Now you can see all your checkboxes are white, so select all of this area here, go to Home, go to Font Color and select Automatic, and they will turn black. And it's only because we've inserted a lot of text up here which was white, and sometimes Word will take that on board and something that you insert will be white. And it may be that you start typing here and it's white, so just select the whole of this lower part of the table, go to Font Color and select Automatic, and everything will turn black. Reduce the size of this row, Layout, 0.3, enter, and then we'll paste in some text, and then we'll merge these, Layout, merge, and I'm actually going to change this cell to grey so that we can see it. So again, Table Design, Shading, and I'm going to select this light colour here, reduce the height, okay, so most of that's done now. We'll come to the graphics at the top in a second. But what you will find sometimes is there's quite a lot of space at the bottom here, which you might want to use for text. Now, can argue you can put that in headers and footers, but it will be greyed out until you send this application form to somebody as a PDF. And you could also try to push the table down, but what you will find is that it will eventually skip over to the next page, even if you reduce the size of the margins at the bottom. So if I move this table down, the cursor at the top there, if I move the table down, you can see there's still a bit of a gap at the bottom here that we haven't used, and we've gone on to the next page. So if you want to utilize this space at the bottom, don't forget your printer, unless it's borderless, will only be able to print to a certain place at the bottom. Go to Insert, go to Text Box, click on the drop down and select Draw Text Box, click and draw out a text box. Now you can enter in any text you like, and then these text boxes are really flexible, so I can move them up or down. What you will find is if I deselect it, it has actually got a border line around it and has also got a white background. So if you want to get rid of both of those, select it, go to Shape Format, go to this outline icon here and select No Outline, and Shape Fill, select No Fill. And now you can see you've got a completely transparent box and you can literally place it anywhere. But do try to line up the text with the text above just to make it a little bit neater. You can use your arrow keys for that if you want, and you can place this exactly where you want to. That enables you to use up that bottom space without fear of creating an additional page. So let's go back to the graphics at the top. Make sure you're happy with where this is lying. You can do that by selecting the table, going to Table Design, going to borders and going down to no borders. And here we can see any mistakes we've made, anything we've missed out. So for example, here, I want to change this cell color to dark gray. So select it and go to the dark gray. And of course we need to change that color. So go to home. I'm going to change that to white. And then we can put some additional graphics in at the top here. So go to insert, pictures, and click on the drop down. Now you can select a picture from your files. I'm going to use some stock image here from Word. Select the search bar. I'm just going to search for city skyline, press enter, and then I select this one and click insert. Now everything's gone crazy and most people panic at this stage, but all you need to do is select it. So go to wrap text and select in front of text, and then we can move this anywhere we like, stretch it across the page, move it up to the top here. Now you can have this photo as vibrant as you want it, but if you want to make some adjustments, select it, go to picture format, and you've got all of these menus here, so you can affect the transparency of it, and you can have some artistic effects, and you can also have some color effects. So let's say you've got a particular logo, which is one of these colors or more variant colors, then you can try and match that scene with your logo, because it's always quite good to have some kind of coherency with your brand. So let's move that up. If it overlaps this square, as you can see it does there, select it, go to picture format and simply go to send backwards, click on the drop down and select send to back, and it will send it to the back. If it doesn't do that, go to wrap text and select behind text, and it should take it behind this grey one. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to select the grey one and we're going to copy and paste it. The easiest way I find to do that is to hold down the Alt or Option key and just simply click and drag out another rectangle. And then we'll just reduce the size of this to the corners. And then we can pop it up here. So I'm going to affect the transparency of this. So select it, go to shape format and go over here to format pane. Go to this bucket icon. Click on the drop down to fill, go down to transparency and just reduce the transparency of that box. You don't have to, but it's a nice professional way to show that picture or image through the background of this box. The next thing I'm going to do is insert text box. So go to a text box and draw out a text box. And then I'm going to move this over. And then you can type in whatever you want, but here I'm simply going to type out application form. I'm going to select the whole text, go to the Home tab, increase the size of this text using this increase font size button here. I'm going to turn the text white because I'm going to get rid of the background. Make sure this is selected, the text box. Go to shape format, take out the outline and then take out the fill color. Perfect. Then I'm going to copy and paste this because I've taken out that background and I formatted the font. I'm just going to copy and paste it. And then I'm going to enter in some more text. You don't have to do this, but again, it's just an idea to format this application form. And you can just start to nudge things around and format them to your own taste. If the box behind isn't big enough, select it and just expand it or extend it, and do the same with these text boxes until all of that text is visible. Just click away and see if you're happy with it. So once you're happy with your form and you've filled it all out as I demonstrated at the beginning of the video, you can now go ahead and you can save this as a Word document, you can save it as a template or a PDF. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Go to File, go to Save As, so you can simply save this as a Word document, or you can click on the drop down and you can save this as a PDF file, or go back up to File and you can save it as a template. Now saving this as a template means you'll always have access to this document. Doesn't matter what changes you make to it, or it doesn't matter if you fill it out, you'll always have access to the original. And again, make sure you're in the templates file here and click on the drop down and make sure you're on Microsoft Word templates. What that means is when you open up Word, it will show you a series of templates. And if you go to the personal ones, you'll find this template in personal. So I hope that's helped you today. If it has, please like and subscribe and have a great day.